I'm your host Sarah, and I would like to speak a few words about our guest today. Benaifer Mirza is an independent lifestyle writer, content developer, and a voice artist. She has voiced over 40 audiobooks. She has won many awards, including the Best Female Artist English Corporate AV Award at India Voice Fest 2019 and Best Female Artist English Audiobooks Award at India Voice Fest 2020. She has also been featured in the midday newspaper for My Voice Acting Prowess. Apart from this, she has also appointed as PR and media head of SCAL International Mumbai South. In conversation with her, I would like to introduce Ms. Snehi Kotak. Snehi Kotak is the founder and director of the Adventure of the Literati. She started writing at an early age of 14 and took it further to get it published with the Times of India (NIE). Apart from writing articles and conducting interviews, she aimed at something higher. Her love for writing and literature made her curate a literary arts venture, that is, Adventures of the Literati. Snehi found Adventures of the Literati at the age of 16 and curated with the best of efforts. The agenda of curating the festival was a gentle call for everyone sharing similar interest in literary arts.
Hi, Benaifer.
Hi, Snehi. A very warm good morning to you and everyone, sorry, who's joined in today. First of all, many congratulations to you for entering season 2 of Adventures of the Literati. I think you guys are doing a great job and at spreading the importance of reading, literature, and forms of art. So many congratulations and heartfelt gratitude to you all for doing what you are. And thank you for having me here.
It's a pleasure to have you, Benaifer. Yeah. Okay, to start with, can you share something of your journey, like how you started writing and what was the thought behind it?
Sure. So basically, I'm a Bombay girl. Bombay for me, since I'm born and brought up here, Mumbai for a lot of you, probably. So yeah, I did my bachelor's in English literature from Mitibai. Then my first job was at a call center, quick money, easy money and stuff. But I kind of realized that, that was not my calling beyond the point because I was always inclined towards writing. So while, I probably just kind of, skimmed through, my other subjects and kind of got passing marks, I always topped my class in English. So the love for writing, the love for the language has always been there and inculcated in me to a very great extent by my father. And so it was a very natural and organic, I think, choice and transition for me to kind of study English literature. And then, of course, my first job was that at a startup company. It was a new media startup. Way back in 2000 and my first company was the call center. Then I kind of realized that I want to start writing. And yeah, so I joined a new media startup. I left that place in 2008 because I realized that gaming and technology weren't really my areas of interest in terms of content. And I left that at a time in 2008 when probably many of you may be just 3 or 4 years old. But at that point of time in 2008, the entire world was hit by a very terrible recession. And I was unemployed for a good 8 months. But then I joined a publication house in 2008, mid 2008. And that is where I started doing lifestyle writing. So I wrote on topics that I completely fell in love with, like travel, hair and beauty, wellness, art, etc. And I finally understood that that is my calling. I worked there for 2 years. That is at Spenta Multimedia. I worked there for 2 years, and um, I kind of realized that, I want to do something over and above writing that is going to break the monotony of, writing as much as I loved it. And that is when I did a weekend workshop, a voice weekend workshop that kind of warmed me up to the mic. And that was in 2011. And as soon as I recorded my first demo, I fell in love with a mic, and I was like, this is something I really, really want to pursue further. And that is how the journey and the balancing act between writing and voicing started. Of course, it's been 10 years since I've been completely independent and freelancing by myself. It's been a long and arduous journey, but I'd say completely worth it.
That's good to hear, Benaifer. Also, what was the thought that brought you to recording audiobooks?
I think it was it was again a very, very natural choice because having studied English literature, having done my BA and then my master's in English literature, having, even had the hobby of reading in my personal space. I think, reading books, of course, I don't read as much anymore, but reading books was something that was a hobby, part of my curriculum, everything. So audiobooks for me is like getting paid to read. And of course, I would say that audiobooks in itself is at a very, very nascent stage in India today. If you look at the audio content market in India, it's 30%, and in that 30%, and like in the UK or abroad, in the entire audio space, audiobooks are 30% of the entire audio consumption. In India, it's just 1%. So it's at a very, very new and nascent stage, but still it's something that I absolutely, absolutely love. And I feel, it is the one space where, I could really kind of express, I can really emote because as a voice artist, like just to kind of let your listeners know, they're broadly speaking two spaces of voicing. One is dubbing, wherein you do animation and cartoon characters and lip sync. So if there's a Hindi movie that's getting dubbed into English, you're kind of, lip syncing with it. And the other one is the voiceovers of the narratives, which I primarily do. So I do a lot of corporate AVs, a lot of audiobooks, audio stories, the IVRs, that is the thank you for calling XYZ that you listen to when you call certain numbers. So yeah, so I think audiobooks was a very natural choice, very natural transition because yes, it's like I said, I get paid to read, and it's a beautiful, beautiful process to kind of give my voice to I think some stories that would be otherwise so far out of my reach, kind of a thing. So right from the biography of J. Krishnamurti to some of Shobha De's works to the latest book by Anuja Chauhan. I feel extremely fortunate to be giving life to the characters with my voice.
Okay, that was amazing. Okay, so was there any specific aim because of which you started writing and recording audiobooks, like any particular aim or agenda?
Yeah, for writing basically.
Yeah.
So I think I have always said that I only know how to write. I don't know anything else in life. So even if you were to see my Instagram or something like that, you would probably think I don't have a life outside of work. And that's how I like to keep my, I think, social media. But I think writing for me is, apart from being a profession, it's always been a great way to even vent out what I really feel. So I think the power of words is so, so, so huge that, I think it can kind of, soften the hardest of hearts, and it can kind of, I think reach out and convince, and kind of change the most difficult of situations. So, and I've always believed in one thing, that even through my professional writing, that I think it's very difficult to write easy. So, it's like basically like, it's very easy to kind of, put in difficult words and stuff, when you're kind of writing down an article. But I think simplicity is something that has always been key to my writing. I don't want my reader or audience to sit with a dictionary when he or she is reading my articles. So yeah, so like currently I contribute to magazines such as the NCPA magazine. So NCPA is the National Center of Performing Arts, which is like the biggest art and culture platform in Bombay. I write occasionally for Midday, then there's HDFC Imperia, and through it all, I just kind of keep simplicity and, a connect and conversation with my reader as the main focal point of my content. So, yeah.
Okay, that was again amazing. And I just had some, a tricky question, I can say. Like, would you rather choose writing over audiobook or audiobook over writing? I know it's a tricky because both are close to your heart and both mean a lot to you.
Extremely. So it's very, very difficult to choose that, but I would say that sometimes maybe an audiobook that will really connect and resonate with my state of mind at that point of time is something that really kind of helps me, and it probably kind of adds and helps me to kind of give emotions to the voice. So I really believe that the universe always conspires and plans things as per what your life really is seeking. So I've been very fortunate that, certain books have come into my life at a time when I really needed that guidance. I really needed those inputs and stuff. And I think that's furthered, or that's kind of further enhanced my journey, especially in my personal space, to kind of, just belt out some musings and things like that, and like, I am not one of those disciplined writers, to be honest. Most of the musings of mine that you would see on my social media is something that is a work of 5 minutes, because I cannot sit on something for days on end and kind of, ruminate or mull over it and then be like, okay, fine, now I'm going to write it down. So I know it's not a it's not a great takeaway for a lot of people who are listening right now, that, oh, she's so last minute. But that is how I've always been, guilty as charged. That, even when it comes to like kind of submitting my pieces and stuff, I never cross the deadline, but I'm always working on the 11th hour. So to answer your question, I think timing is key sometimes. Timing is, really important sometimes, so sometimes my life may seek an audiobook, and sometimes my life may just seek that pen and paper, or in the modern day, maybe the laptop, to kind of just vent out my innermost feelings and thoughts.
Okay. Okay, so how did you associate with Share a Book India Association, and why? What brought you there?
So, like I said, Snehi, the two things that I have always felt very closely about, or very deeply about, is the fact that I think no child or no individual should sleep hungry, and no child should be deprived of the gift of education. And so I came across Share a Book at a time in my life, and I think I really, really kind of needed to kind of, just, put in my energy to something that was really, really purposeful. So I started my journey with Share a Book India Association, which we fondly call Sabya, as, somebody who kind of, just shares video stories with the children and stuff. And being a reader myself, being, somebody is so inclined towards books and education, I felt this is the best way for me to reach out to kids who are not as fortunate. So that is how the journey started. And right now, from November 14th to December 14th, we have a month-long fundraiser for Sabya to kind of, collect 15 lakh, and all the money is going to be used towards, developing libraries, towards some women empowerment initiatives, and a lot of empowerment and facilitation in general. So, we're having like a lot of Insta Live sessions with influencers, with the likes of like Archana Goradia Gupta, then Asha Hariharan, Rageshwari Lumba. We also have Dr. Batra sometime soon. We also have, Miss Malini, who's going to be joining sometime soon. So, yeah. So we're feeling very fortunate that, there's so many like-minded people who kind of resonate with the purpose and the thought behind sharing education. because that is the future of our country. And I really, I think you guys are the future of our country. And I think I would really take this opportunity to really urge and request each and every one of you who's joined us today to kind of really contribute whatever you can, because it's very important to remember that no amount is small. I keep on saying this, that we accept a 100 rupee contribution, and I won't say donation because donation just feels like a very weird term. Contribution is more like you're giving back to society. So a 100 rupee contribution with as much love and gratitude as we would a 1,000 rupees or a 10,000 or a lakh or whatever. And yeah, so the contribution link is available on Share a Book India Association's page, their LinkedIn, their Instagram page. It's also available on my Instagram page. We're all just a DM away. So I keep on saying that, please, please, please contribute to Share a Book so that we enable kids who are not as fortunate to be able to share a book. So yeah, that is
Yeah.
my really heartfelt request to each of you. Yeah,
That's great. I'm pretty sure Share a Book India Association suffices and serves the purpose and fulfills the target at the earliest.
thank you
Also,
so
now
much.
that we have most of the college and school students as the audience, what would be that one piece of advice you would like to give these young aspirants who would, how to start their career if they are interested in audio recording audiobooks or writing articles? How
Sure,
should they
sure,
start?
sure. So I think, Snehi, I kind of, studied at a time when internship and all did not exist. But luckily, you guys are in an era when internship is really part of your curriculum. So in a way, like I say, you guys are ready-made to kind of hit the job market, and you're so, so, so confident, when it comes to like, the way you present yourself and stuff versus the way I was or we were in kind of my back in my times. But I would also say that the competition is as much tougher and stiffer right now. So there are as many avenues, but there is as much even supply. So when the demand is so much, the supply is even more right now, in terms of people wanting to kind of become a writer. Social media has kind of given access to anyone and everyone, with due respect, to kind of, start their own blog, self-publish and things like that. So I think, it's very easy to kind of put your work out there. Um, Luckily, Facebook, Instagram, not Instagram, but Facebook, LinkedIn, etc., are avenues where, you have agencies, you have production houses, you have content agencies that kind of put up requirements. So, budding writers, budding voice artists can always kind of, just kind of fine tune their respective skills and apply to these things, apply to these respective posts. But I would also say that I think the one thing that's really kind of, been vital in my journey is the three P's of patience, passion, and perseverance. So while I started voicing in 2011, I think I got my break in 2017. So it's been like a good 6, 7 years that I really, really did not have the kind of consistent work that I'm having right now. But I think I just kind of stuck around. I just knew that this was my calling and this is what I want to pursue further. But so just hang in there, do not give up, kind of, keep fine tuning, keep refining, keep working on your skills, be open to feedback from your peers, from your seniors. Watch if you want to become a voice artist. Don't just watch ads, listen to content, if you want to kind of become a good writer, please, please consume good content in the form of good books and stuff and all. And I think that's like we're like learning every single day. We are all work in progress. So that's my tip. I mean, I'm not a veteran, but still, if I were to give a slight and small tip, then yeah, this is what it would be.
That was really nice, Benaifer. it was really a wonderful insight in, knowing about the audiobooks and, of course, all your journey and how you started and your associations and awards and everything. It was really good to hear that. And we can just give me a minute to check if there are any questions from the audience.
Sure.
Okay, so here's one. They are asking that mostly the local people don't get the opportunity because they are not renowned. So how should we cope up with that, and how should one face that thing?
Okay, so I guess they're meaning it more in the voice industry, I think more so. Snehi, I would want to say one thing that this is a question that I get very often that, you are from Bombay, sorry, so it must have been easy for you to get work. But remember one thing, no amount of you staying in Bombay or no amount of great networking is going to make a first time client a repeat client. So I may kind of get my first project with an agency or with a production house, but if my work is not good enough, they're not going to keep coming back to me. Also, I think I'm a live example of the fact that being somebody from the city, we are the financial capital of the country. We're also in a way the media capital of the country, but still my struggle has been for real. So it's not that, it's easier when you're staying in Bombay and, it's tougher when you're coming from another city. Yes, definitely. I have the advantage of having a roof over my head from the same city and stuff. So that entire struggle of kind of going out and looking for a house and all was definitely not there. But the one advice I would want to also give is that, I think the pandemic especially has taught us more than ever before that it's always a good idea to kind of have more than one career to, invest in. So that you're able to break the monotony. B, you're also able to kind of, play the balancing act. So if your writing career is not doing so well, you could always voice. If voicing is not doing so well, you could always act. If acting is not doing so well, you could always translate, do so many things, because I think the entire creative gamut is so huge, So I would really say that try to kind of, really, work on some other skills as well while you are focusing on a primary skill. Don't put all your eggs or apples in one basket, Try to kind of, just really, really work on more skills. And trust me, it's not about whether you're from Bombay or not. Even the other cities, the tier 2, tier 3 cities have a lot of dubbing opportunities. They have a lot of studios where content is getting dubbed. Regional content is really, really big in India right now, So most of our movies, be it a James Bond movie or whatever, they get dubbed in the South Indian languages, Bengali, Marathi, Bangla, etc. So I think there is enough and more opportunity, but the opportunity will knock at your door only and only after you've really kind of close to perfected your skills.
Okay, that was really good. I hope that answers. Also, there was another question coming up. They're asking if there are any courses one should opt for or any training they should undergo for the
For what? Voicing.
Voicing and writing both, I think.
See, writing, like I told you, to a very great extent, you do a lot of it on the job. I think both of it, both the careers, you do learn a lot of it on the job. But today you have so many of your diplomas in terms of writing. You have so many social media content courses and stuff which are even available online. Some of them are even free. So you can definitely sign up for some of those. In terms of voicing, yes, there are many workshops that happen in Bombay, that happen in Delhi, that happen across the country. But the one piece of advice that I would like to kind of give to people who are interested is that there are workshops that range from maybe 5 or 10,000 right up to 50 and 60,000. So when you're initially starting out, please kind of, invest in a workshop that is not going to make a really big hole in your pocket, because you never know whether I mean, not everybody is going to fall in love with the mic. They may really think that, oh, this is not something that's interesting me any further. So I don't want to give it I don't want to give it a shot. And imagine if you're doing a 60,000 course, all that money is down the drain kind of a thing, you know. So start small, start with a basic workshop. Yes, a basic workshop that kind of, you know, warms you up to the mic, that teaches you the technicalities of how to mark a script, the distance that you need to maintain between the mic and your mouth and things like that is very, very important. But at the same time, the rest of it is all on the job training. And once you start earning, you can kind of, you know, keep on going for refresher courses and, you know, courses that are more elaborate.
Okay, I hope that answers the question of the respected person. Also, on a personal note, I would like to know if, what should be the right way to, getting started? Like, say, for example, if a teenager like me has to start, what can be the roadmap for it? Like,
You're talking about writing or voicing?
Voicing.
Voicing. So again, Snehi, first of all, many thanks to all the people who asked those wonderful questions, very relevant. Snehi, to answer your question, I would say that do a basic weekend workshop. I would be more than happy to kind of, every a few days I also have Insta Lives. So you can join me over there where I kind of, share names of workshops and all. But there is an organization called Sound and Vision India that conducts workshops very regularly. Then we have a veteran named Darpan Mehta who also conducts workshops very regularly. So we have quite a few of these veteran voice artists who conduct workshops and who kind of, introduce you to the world of voicing. And after that, I think it's all practice, 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 a lot of practice, So you kind of, just pick up a book and read it aloud, record it on your mobile phone, share it with your friends, share it probably with the person you've trained with, ask them, that how am I sounding, how are my expressions and things like that. And also, I think the one thing that, we need to really take care of is, our voice. Because like I jokingly say that my voice is what gives me my bread, butter and biryani. So, it's like you need to really kind of really, really worship your voice in terms of like, take care of it, eat the right thing, probably do some pranayams and stuff, because we all have some or the other kind of, and we stay in cities that are really polluted. So, day in and day out, there's some nasal problem, there's some breathing problem, there's some throat problem and stuff. So kind of take care of your voice and read good content, really, really work on your language. Whenever you have some kind of confusion about the pronunciation of a particular word, now whether that's Hindi, English, whatever you're voicing in, please check the pronunciation, because what makes a first-time client a repeat client is the artist's confidence and fluency in the language, So I think it's very, very important to kind of have a fluent language. Please read, please read, because especially when it comes to audiobooks, fluency and pace is very, very important, because you need to churn out an X amount of content within a stipulated time. And if you're like fumbling at every second sentence, you are really kind of, eating away into the studio time, and you are being very costly to the people who have kind of, commissioned your services. So please read, please work on your language skills, please kind of work on the fluency of whatever language. I would also take this opportunity to say that please, if you have a mother tongue that you're really, really fluent in, please kind of, voice in that as well, because I think there's a lot of pseudo sense of being like, oh, English is the cooler language, so I want to voice in English and not a Hindi or not a Bangla or not my other mother tongue, whatever it may be. But please, there's a huge market for regional languages, so, and regional content. So please, apart from just knowing the language verbally, learn to read the language, because a lot of the times the script is in the original lipi or language, so Devanagari or whatever it may be. So please just don't speak, but learn to read the language as well, because that's very, very important.
Okay, that was really much deeper insight in the subject, and yeah, it has sort of curated some interest in me as well. So definitely, I'm also looking forward to some workshop or something that might be happening around. And yeah, definitely, I'm pretty sure it would have been a treat for all the audience as well, and I hope that suffices. At the same time, I think we can conclude this session here, as we have a next session ready with Mr. Deepak Dalal, and he has joined us. So
Good morning,
yeah.
Deepak sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
So yeah, thank you for joining us, Benaifer, and
Thank you so much.
yeah, thank you for sharing such a wonderful insight.
And good luck to you all. Good luck to you, Snehi, and many, many congratulations on this wonderful initiative once again. Good luck.
Thank you so
Bye,
much.
everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.